If you really thought we were done getting news and updates about Avengers Doomsday, they really say he goes 6 or 7 more for you. Because we just got a whole bunch of insane news, rumors, and speculation for Avengers Doomsday that include more details about the upcoming teaser for Doomsday, even more characters rumored to appear, some crazy story details that really got my brain spinning, and so much more. And y'all know me, if I start seeing some dots in the sky, I'm gonna make them connect because I got a brain blast. But either way, me and you know what we gotta do, we gotta talk about it. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But for real, seemingly out of nowhere, we just got a whole bunch of new details for Avengers Doomsday thanks to Christian Harloff, who's someone that I respect and admire and has been a part of this space for like 20 plus years now. So I trust that he trusts his source. But one of the things he revealed is that Marvel has actually made several versions of the trailer for Doomsday, and now they're just trying to decide which one they want to use. I'm assuming this is the same teaser trailer that's going to be released next month and attached to Avatar: Fire and Ash. And with this being like our first actual look at this film, I personally hope it's just a teaser. Maybe we get like 1 or 2 lines of dialogue, of voiceover, slow pans in the darkness. But I think the teaser trailer needs to be the full reveal of what Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom looks like. I can't think of a better teaser for Doomsday than showing off the main antagonist of the movie. Plus, I don't even think they have enough footage to really showcase in the teaser trailer anyway. Maybe a couple of flashes of whatever they have finished, but other than that, the best possible teaser trailer is just the reveal of Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom. I'm calling it. Maybe even get us what he would sound like too. I'm curious if Robert Downey Jr. is going to be doing that like goofy over-the-top Dracula type accent for Doom, which I personally prefer. Maybe we'll even get a little taste of what Doom's theme song is going to sound like. But the fact that they're trying to choose from multiple different cuts of this trailer has me excited because it shows that they have more finished than we even thought. But only time will tell. I can't wait to watch this teaser next month. What do you think the teaser is going to show? And apparently one of these versions of the trailer will show Peggy Carter and Steve Rogers, but they're not in their costumes. Now, Peggy and Steve's return in Avengers Doomsday shouldn't come as a surprise because the Hollywood Reporter, amongst all the other trades, already confirmed that both Chris Evans and Haley Atwell were going to be reprising their roles in Doomsday. But the interesting thing is now we know they're not Cap or Captain Carter. And this all but confirms the rumors and speculation and set photos that we've been hearing about how Steve Rogers going back in time to be with Peggy caused an incursion, and Doom's going after people who caused incursions. Coupling that with the fact that they're filming scenes at Steve Rogers' house at the end of Endgame, don't be surprised if we get a scene that plays out like this. But something that I haven't heard anybody else really talk about is I wonder if Doom's going to have the power to be able to corrupt in Avengers Doomsday, or if he's just going to be trying to manipulate people to get on his side. Because if he has the power to manipulate people, could you imagine him turning that Cap into Hydra Cap? I think we're going to see this version of Cap one way somehow. Now moving on over to the last thing that Christian Harloff revealed, it's that Cyclops and the Summers family will be a major focus, so Wolverine will not be in the spotlight. And Christian Harloff actually followed up and clarified that that piece of news isn't for Avengers Doomsday, because that news is actually for the upcoming X-Men reboot movie in the MCU, just set to feature a whole new cast and crew of mutants and X-Men. So yeah, real quick, in case you need reminding, he's not talking about James Marsden in Doomsday, who's reprising his role in a comic accurate look for Avengers Doomsday, but whoever the new Scott Summers Cyclops is going to be in the MCU post Secret Wars. Honestly, that's music to my ears because Cyclops has been fucking cucked and pushed to the side in cinema for years. Don't get me wrong, I love Wolverine, but let's slow our roll on him. We can chill on him for a little bit, put the main focus on Cyclops. And really, they should be using X-Men 97 as a blueprint because the way they handle Scott Summers in that show is mwah. I love his relationship with Jean. That should be another focus. So could we finally see Scott, Alex, and Gabriel on the big screen together? Cyclops, Havoc, and Vulcan, I need that more than I need air. I mean, I feel like the Shi'ar Empire are going to play a huge factor into the mutant saga of the MCU after Secret Wars, so we need a Vulcan. But we haven't even scratched underneath the surface of the entire Summers family because on top of Scott and his brothers, we got Jean, Nathan Summers, Nathaniel Gray, Rachel Summers, and Hope Summers, which we'll learn more about in X-Men 97 Season 2, which I'm excited for y'all to learn about. Could y'all imagine if they bring back Josh Brolin as Cable in the MCU? That shit would be hilarious. They might as well just bring him back for the Fox X-Men universe they're bringing back for Doomsday. That would be funny. While we're on the subject of Fox X-Men characters, apparently Avengers Doomsday will be Patrick Stewart's final acting role. Not just as Professor X, but his last overall role in general, which is just fucking crazy to think about, especially if he ends up dying again. Like, damn, Professor X died more times than Kenny from South Park. I don't know if I fully believe that, but I mean, he ain't getting any younger. And he's worked enough, in my opinion, especially with all the Star Trek stuff. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised him going out with one final payday. And the final thing that was revealed is that Avengers Doomsday will feature 3 Earths crashing together, which creates Battleworld. I don't know how much I necessarily believe that, because I always felt like Doom was going to create Battleworld himself, but apparently if 3 Earths crashed together to create Battleworld, I guess he could have a say in that. And as for what three worlds are colliding together, it's obviously got to be our mainline universe that we've all known and loved, the Fantastic Four's universe and the X-Men universe, if I had to guess. Which explains how we get our mini little X-Men versus Avengers moment in this movie, most likely. Oh boy, I can't wait to see this shit in live action. But moving on over to rumors from scooper James Mack, who's actually been pretty reliable, but I do want to preface this with a grain of salt. But apparently Channing Tatum's Gambit will be the same Gambit from Deadpool and Wolverine, which pretty much confirms that he comes from this X-Men universe of all the announced Fox X-Men characters returning. Or maybe he somehow ends up in that universe after Deadpool and Wolverine, because we did get that teaser of a portal opening up and welcoming him in. But I feel like that kind of contradicts everything that he said about his character. Name's Gambit, mon ami, remember. Woo! He's about to make a name for himself, yeah. I mean, ideally, this is the Fox X-Men that we get in Avengers Doomsday for one last time, baby. But we'll just have to wait and see. And something else he revealed is that Vision is rumored to be one of the major protagonists in Avengers Secret Wars. So it looks like White Vision is getting all of his emotions on top of his memories back. And James alluded to the fact that we're probably gonna see the Scarlet Witch in Avengers Secret Wars. That's why Vision has a big role. Which just leads me to believe that I've been right this entire time and Doom is gonna want Wanda and she's gonna side with Doom. And it's gonna be a mini little children's crusade type story in Avengers Secret Wars. But I don't know, what is theory if not delusion persevering? But something else he revealed that makes me feel vindicated is the fact that Doctor Doom and Sentry will seemingly share scenes together in Avengers Doomsday. And what the fuck did I say after watching Thunderbolts? Roll the tape. Here's where shit gets interesting and where my theory kicks in, because I don't think this just affects Avengers Doomsday. This is going to affect Avengers Secret Wars as well. Because if they're going to be adapting Jonathan Hickman's Avengers Secret Wars, then we're going to need someone to play that Molecule Man role. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Molecule Man's game, he is a key resource for Doctor Doom during the Secret Wars storyline. Essentially, he's a plot device and also a tool, but he's also got some complexity to him as a character during the Secret Wars storyline. But at the end of the day, Molecule Man ends up being a key fixture for Doctor Doom, a tool, a weapon, basically to learn everything about the Beyonders, steal their power, take their power, and create Battleworld. Just to sum it up real quick, there's a lot more little nuances there, but I'm not going to spoil that shit for you. So I think they're going to be replacing Molecule Man with Sentry. And I know what you're probably thinking, Sammy, why? Well, that's because Sentry / the Void also has the ability to manipulate molecules the same way that Molecule Man does. Not to the same extent, but you get where I'm going. They're going to use that same plot line as a thread. What adds even more fuel to the fires, remember when those concept arts that are fake leaked? You know, at first a lot of people thought this was Bucky Barnes, maybe even Johnny Storm. But now I'm starting to think that this is Sentry / the Void, who's being held captive and used as a battery. That means Miles Morales and Peter Parker gotta come through with a cheeseburger to save the multiverse. That right there makes the most sense why the Thunderbolts are gonna have such a big role in Avengers Doomsday. Because after this movie, I feel like they're probably protective over Bob, but we just gotta wait and see. I'm true to this, not new to this, acknowledge me. And filing this one under the duh department, Chris Hemsworth's Thor will reportedly survive the events of Avengers Doomsday. And to that I say duh, because he's gonna be in Secret Wars. And we're most likely gonna get a Thor 5 to get that sour taste of Love and Thunder out of our fucking mouth. So while he did scare us with that little thank you for everything over the last 11 years as Thor post that he had a couple months ago, looks like he's here to stay. He really said, this paycheck's good. Another thing this James Mack guy revealed is that Namor isn't necessarily a villain. He just wants to survive the incursions just like everyone else. But at the same time, he doesn't want to side with Reed Richards. And what the fuck have I been saying for months now? Doctor Doom is gonna get people that are on the fence on his side, like Namor, Magneto, promising them a stake on Battleworld to get them on his side. And this right here further vindicates that theory. But I think we ain't done with the Namor updates, because apparently in some pre-visualization, which is basically like sketches with visual effects, Namor was shown in battle amid a massive tsunami, seemingly the one who's causing it. But there was also a giant octopus and his Talocanil army. We also got a female warrior called Andromeda. And there was also a very muscular warrior in the army with fins who looked like Orca, but he's not sure. My brother in Christ, you're telling me we're getting the Defenders of the Deep in live action? Oh my god, it's about to be peak cinema. Now, as for the big muscular dude with fins, it could either be Orca or King Shark if I had to guess, but that's definitely Andromeda. I'm just curious if we're gonna get the rest of the members here. I just love the fact that they're building out Talocan, because I need a solo Namor project some way, somehow, and this might be scratching that itch for us. But that's all the new news, updates, and rumors we got about Avengers Doomsday. Let me know what you think about all of this news, as well as my thoughts, theories, and opinions down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.